public hearing. The public hearing is on solar energy systems. By the planning board, it's tidying up the system if people come to this area for solars. It's some rules and regulations, some stuff on erosion and stuff like that. So if anybody would like to speak on that, you're welcome. The floor is open for that now. A motion open for public hearing.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, at this time, the public hearing will be closed.
Motion to close.
And a motion to close.
Make a motion. Second.
Motion's closed. All in favor of closing?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. The clerk, please take a roll call.
Councilwoman Wiskowski. Here. Councilwoman Dyson. Here. Supervisor Schmitter.
Here.
Councilman Seneca.
Here.
And Councilman Pilar.
Here.
Please stand for the pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please have a seat. Okay, our first petitioner tonight will be Charlie Capolino. Evening, Charlie.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Okay, yes. Keep it pretty close to your mouth.
For the town board, I'm here. I'm Charlie Capolino. I've been a resident of Seneca Falls for 45 years, hard to believe. I'm here to speak to for the Comprehensive Plan Implementation Committee. For the town board, I did send you an email over the weekend, and hope you had a chance to look at that. I do have some copies of the attachment to that email in case you didn't get them in your packet. You got them all?
They should all have
Yeah,
that.
it's in there. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
So the comprehensive plan was approved last year, and a committee was put together to basically focus on implementation of that plan. And myself, Frank Posey, Judy Wenzel, and Christine Van Duzen, along with Lisa Fitzgerald, are basically working on trying to understand what was in the plan and how we can implement it. So this is a copy of the plan for anybody that hasn't seen it. It's on the town website, and it's very detailed, and a lot of effort went into it by a lot of people over the last couple of years. So it's got several different priority areas that focus on housing, economic development, tourism, and such. So the implementation committee, our charge is to oversee the implementation of the plan, look at the strategies outlined within it, ensure the actions are prioritized, and recommend resources for the completion of the plan, and provide quarterly updates to the town. So that was part of the plan that was issued, that there would be an implementation committee that was recommended by the consultants that helped us develop that plan a year ago. So progress to date, we kicked off in September of 2024, and we met with Matt Horn of MRB to learn about what other communities have done implementation and how that worked for them. We met with a nearby town manager who did an implementation as well to learn from them. We've met with numerous organizations throughout the town, Parks and Rec we met with the county planning and community development part of the county government that deals with housing. We met with the Chamber of Commerce, the Visitor Center, Seneca Falls Development Corp to try and understand what was already in process and what the status was. And we'll engage more organizations over the next several months in this coming year. We assessed the entire action plan, which is in the comprehensive plan. There's over 100 actions listed in here of things that are recommended as part of that plan, and try to identify the single owner for each of those actions. So we knew who basically to contact and who was responsible for trying to move those actions forward. That took quite a while, but it was worth doing. We learned a lot about the plan and then who was involved. We've held 2 meetings to date. One involved all the local community leaders that are involved in grant writing, and that was actually quite insightful in understanding who's writing grants, how effective they are, connecting them, frankly, to understand what other things are happening and learning how that grant writing could basically help support the implementation of the plan. Let's see, a housing committee was launched to look at housing in the town, and that's been connecting with the county as well. And a fiscal responsibility committee was launched to understand the town's fiscal future with and without landfill revenue. So I know could be a controversial one. That one's just getting underway, and we'll have more to come on that. So we also realized that there's a lot of good things already happening in the town, and one of the opportunities is to communicate that more. So we've spent a little bit of time talking to Seneca Falls Development Corp about what they do, and they're actually just releasing, I can't hand this out because I don't think it's finalized yet, but they're doing a newsletter. It's going to be a monthly newsletter that talks about events. That'll be an effort to help provide better communication. And we've also had some discussion as a committee about having maybe an annual town hall meeting, maybe at the rec center with tables, for example, where the community come in and understand what's happening in various organizations, not only inside the town government, but inside the community as well, and maybe even recruit volunteers to assist with some of the things that need to be done in the community. So what are the next steps for the implementation committee? We have to still go through a prioritization process and identify near-term priorities. We got a pretty good idea of what those are, but we still need to finalize that. We're going to continue to update and further engage the town board as needed. In the plan is a recommendation of quarterly meetings, so we plan on doing this kind of a basically update once a quarter, and we're going to rotate the opportunities so the rest of the committee can have a chance to engage with the board as well. We're going to finalize that communication strategy that I just mentioned and potentially provide input to the town's 2026 budget process to help implement the comprehensive plan that was developed. So we appreciate the board's support and welcome any feedback that the board would like to provide, whether that's tonight or after the meeting. And we meet on a regular basis, the group of us right here in the town. We've been meeting every couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. I forgot to mention there is one more member of our committee, Lisa Fitzgerald. She was not able to attend tonight, but would love to be here, but she had another engagement. So, and if anybody has any interest in supporting this effort, joining any of the committees that I've described, please reach out to myself or any of the other members of our committee, and we can help you out in terms of understanding what's going on. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. You're doing some good work, that committee, and they're really moving along, so it's great to see. Thank you, all of you that volunteer and work in it. I appreciate it very much. Okay, next for petitioner, I have Diana Smith and Adrian Emo.
Supervisor and board members, thank you for letting us speak tonight. Just a quick note, I really want to applaud the town and Charlie and your committee. Seeing the public engagement that's being fostered is fantastic, especially the citizen-led effort to implement, which I think the town embracing is just a fantastic opportunity for everyone, especially for the town board to get that kind of feedback, so that's great. We're here tonight to talk a little bit about convention days. I think as I look around this room, I see a lot of folks here who are old enough, like I am, to remember what convention days used to be like when we were young. It was a great community-wide event and a real celebratory event. And there is a group of us that are working hard to try and bring that back and revive that. Just a few weeks ago, we got together, we presented to the LPC board kind of a vision of what convention days could be with just a little bit of support, a little bit of effort. It would be a boost to the local economy, it would support downtown businesses because it would bring tourism and it literally would support our local economy. And I think more importantly, it would be a focal point for community support. We can get excited about our history, excited about really what the character of the community is all about. And as we described our vision to the LDC board, and again, largely based on what we remembered, convention days, how it used to be, an educational event, speakers, activists there, but also a celebration with music and good food and just community spirit. And we were really encouraged by the level of excitement that we received in response to that discussion. So we pulled together a pretty good-sized committee of volunteers to help build this vision. The organization that Adrienne and I both belong to, WIL, which is Women's Institute for Leadership and Learning, folks from the National Park, people who work on Canal Fest, Step Forward, Lake to Lake Women, another local organization, and we're working in collaboration with the Historical Society and with the National Women's Hall of Fame, and as I mentioned, the National Park, and several community volunteers. So already it's grown in terms of a great effort. WIL's been doing programming related to convention days since 2008 and has been the sponsor of Seneca Falls Dialogues for all of these years. And of course, you all know the National Park has been a huge driver of convention days for years now. And the local Convention Days, Inc., which is also a committee that's been working in convention days. So we're all banding together. We really would like to encourage everyone here tonight to perhaps step forward, help us by joining the committee. We're looking for volunteers for Convention Days weekend. We're looking for sponsors. We're also looking for vendors. I'm going to let Adrienne tell you a little bit about what's in store and what our vision is and what we're working on. But most of all, I'd like to ask everyone to participate in the week.
So the other Convention Days Committee, Inc., will have the Community Service Award on Friday evening. On Saturday, we'll begin with our usual procession from the Stanton home. I wish everyone would process with us. And we'll walk the walk of Elizabeth Cady Stanton to the Women's Rights Park, where there will be many activities, many living history folks there, speakers, etc. And we will be positioned right near them, near Skate Street. We intend to have a lot of speakers and music. We are going to have a market which will encompass all of Fall Street. I just love to see all white tents on both sides of Fall Street. So we're trying to encourage many vendors to come here. We're going to have food trucks, and we're still working out who our speakers are going to be and who our musicians will be. But as you know, Becky Bly is working on that and always gives us a really good show. So then we're going to end on Sunday with a brunch with a keynoter speech at the Gould Hotel. But one thing that's most important to us, all of us, is that we are a sister city to Tenafly. And some of you may know that there is a busload or two of women coming from Tenafly for convention days. They'll all be staying at the Gould Hotel or at the Hampton Inn, and they will be participating in everything that we do, as well as with Supervisor Schmitter at 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. There will be a special presentation where he will probably present keys to the town to the mayor, perhaps of Tenafly. We invite you all to come. I want to stress to you that when Seneca Falls went to Tenafly, they put on a big show. There were a lot of people. We'd like to do the same when they come to see us and show our enthusiasm for our own community and for our convention days and our history.
So I just want to close with making Convention Days a town-wide celebratory event. It supports the objectives that were identified in our comprehensive plan. So it's a great, this is a great follow-up to Charlie's presentation. We really want to build on the branding of Seneca Falls as the historic center of women's rights and human rights and civic activism, right? That the entire character of the community is based on. So help us show the world we're unlike any other community.
One of the programs that we were producing the last 2 years has been very successful, and we're doing this year, and it's exploded. It's Girl Scout tours. We have many girls coming from the western side of New York. We have many coming from as far as Utica here, and they're going to do a tour of our historical locations, and we'll have a tour guide go with them. And they have a passport. This is the passport created by Diana, And so there are stamps. When they go to these locations, they'll get a stamp. But I only have so many tonight. I'm so sorry. They just got printed again and I have to pick them up. But I'd like you to see them. So when the Girl Scouts get this and they go from location to location and get their stamp, when they end, they will receive a fun patch. They get badges or patches, and we're going to provide a fun patch. So we're really trying to incorporate many groups, and the Girl Scouts will be one of the best, because you know what? They're going to stand on our shoulders. They're going to be the future of us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diane. Next up, I have Jake Edlin.
He wasn't able to make it today. I'm prepared to do a presentation to the board, if that's all right.
Okay.
I think everybody has the paperwork in their packets. It was emailed. You got yours? Okay. This one. Two actually, so I figured big Caitlin's got hers over there. I didn't plan on speaking tonight. Jake, our representative from Axon, another individual was supposed to be here from Boston and Texas, but we're unable to make it. The presentation from Axon, I was approached a few months back. Axon is offering 5 leadership pricing. For everybody that doesn't know, Axon is our body cameras, our tasers, our in-car cameras. They are now offering virtual reality training. AI capabilities, which the DA's here, he sat through a presentation as well. Report writing, which is called Draft 1. Body cameras now will translate in 50 different languages in real time. So as we're speaking to somebody with a different language, it will translate to us. As we speak, it will translate back to them. So we were approached for the body cameras and everything else that goes with it for a 10-year package. The 10-year package, it sounds like a big price tag of $995,000. It's spread out over the 10-year contract to $99,000 a year. This includes body cameras for all the officers. Every 2.5 years, body cameras are updated. Tasers for all the officers, they're updated every 5 years. All software comes with it is updated as it comes in. Doesn't matter if it's 6 years down the road, we still get the same update as anybody else. It's got the Axon interview room system. Again, 10-year contract, which sets our interview rooms up to record and translate the statements that are being taken. So the investigators will be able to go back to their office, paperwork be translated instead of having to type everything.
Chief, I just have one question about the tasers. Are those going to be, I know that we had I think of one case in particular where the taser was ineffective due to the prong itself. What level?
These would be the new tasers. This would be the Taser 10s,
Okay.
which are actually considered a firearm in New York State right now. They have 10 cartridges in them that will fire one at a time.
But they'll penetrate.
They'll penetrate fluffy jackets,
Okay.
clothing.
Because I know in this particular circumstance, it did not affect this individual, and hence a serious assault took place.
That's the Taser 7s that we have right now. The
Okay.
newest one's out of the
Thank
Taser
you.
10, which we've already signed that contract, but that contract, if the town decided to look at something like this, that contract would, they would wipe that one out and consider that into this package as well. So, I know we've sent several emails out, so I don't know if anybody's got any questions about everything.
What will it save roughly annually when we take into consideration your budget, et cetera?
If we were to go with this package, my budget as it sits right now would have to go up about $63,000 to cover this a year versus what we pay right now for Axon. Over the 10-year contract, they're predicting to be just over $400,000 savings if we were to sign on as leader pricing right now. The future is AI. It's coming. What it does is that the officer goes to a complaint. The camera's only accepting what we're talking about, and then it writes the report for them based off of that. So the officers won't be back here for hours at a time typing up paperwork anymore. It
How
would
many
automatically
agencies were
translate.
approached?
What's that?
How many agencies were approached?
5. We would be the third one in New York State if we signed down with this. Right now, Hugo Heights has it, which is down in Tompkins County, and YPD, which is downstate.
How long have they been utilizing this?
They've only been on it for about 6 months right now. And I don't know if you talked to Tompkins County at all, or had a chance to.
I have not.
So, I know John's researched it on his side because when we were approached, this is something I was approached on, that's why I'm bringing it to you. I didn't go out searching for this, it just happened to be, I was in the right place, right time, and it was brought up to me and asked if it could be brought to the town board, so I did.
District Attorney Manager, is my understanding you're in support of this?
Yeah, I am. I did sit in on the presentation that Chief Snyder's talking about, had some question of my own. The thing that really appeals to me is the transcribe. Because right now, as the Chief said, anytime they're encountering a non-English speaking person, that can be very difficult to communicate just in real time with that person, and then later on to actually be able to memorialize what's being said. So the fact that this technology not only does that translation and can do it real time, it can do it later on. You can plug in a piece of video of someone, say, speaking Spanish, and it will not only do that translation, but it will create a transcript of it that we can then use for court or any other type of presentation that as well. So that's what really sold me on it, as well as the documentation that the company has talked about, how it supports the officers in report writing.
Can you
Is there
foresee?
judicial notice on this?
I'm sorry?
Has there been judicial notice on this?
As far as the technology, the AI technology, it's brand new in New York State. As the chief said, there's only been a couple of other agencies that are currently using it. However, there's a lot of technology out there that has been recognized as far as doing transcripts, and it would have to be independently certified. And after we go through that process a couple of times, it's going to become a standard sort of thing. I don't see it really being a problem. I have a gentleman that I spoke with recently that talked about the cost of like doing a 1-hour video of that type of thing with a non-English speaking person, and that can be up to $5,000 an hour to just do a translation and a transcript. And this technology allows that to be, it's in the package already, so it's not going to be an extra cost, and it can be done in, I think he said, a minute per hour, whereas me sending it out or the chief sending it out to some agency could take weeks and thousands of dollars.
So like I said, it's body cameras, every 2.5 years updated. With the body camera package, you're gonna get the live GPS tracking, two-way radio communication, live stream video feeds, setback delay, and training on board. So with this package also, if the supervisor's in the office, he can actually sign into the body camera while the officer's actually out on the scene. If we've got some special detail going on, where we've got a command post set up, we'd be able to live stream our body cameras right back to the command post with that. Update every 2.5 years, like I said, which is huge, because now it's only every 5 years it's updated. Taser 10s, which is the newest one they have out, that includes all the cartridges for training for the lifetime of the contract as well. So right now, about every other year, I spend about $1,800 to buy cartridges just to train on. If we fire this in the line of duty now, they replace it in the line of duty underneath this contract as well. So that training, that will obviously save money down the road as well. Interview room system, the one we have now, is quite old, probably pushing 12 years now. It's in there making noise right now, but we limp it by. That's included in this as well, where they come in and set up 2 iPads and 4 cameras, 2 in each interview room, and be able to record and translate from there as well. Virtual reality training, which is for tasers and firearms now. That's, again, every 2.5 years, that's upgraded in this contract. AI power tool with a draft 1. The average that we came up with was 30 minutes per report per day. That's an average. Some might take 5, and the rest might take an hour and a I would think after talking to Axon that within the next 10 years, this AI is going to be, it's going to be there. We're going to end up getting this down the road anyways. I think every agency is going to end up having this. Along with the body cameras too, we give real-time policies, so all our policies can be loaded to the body cam. So if the officer's out on a call, he's got a question of how he should treat that complaint or that call or that incident, he'd be able to bring his policies up right there in real time and be able to pinpoint what he needs to take care of. So again, this was brought to me. I want to bring it to the board. I think it's a great opportunity. I know the price tag seems a lot, but over a 10-year period, we'll be saving hundreds of thousands of dollars if we decide to look at this.
Statistically speaking, how often is your department coming into contact with those that are not English speakers?
It's more and more every day. You know, I couldn't put a number on it and say 1 a day or 2 a day, but we just had 2 of them today actually that we had mixed to go talk. So.
And you have one, so you have an officer.
We have 2 that are Spanish speaking. If they're on, like when we had the top shooting, we had to call in our Spanish speakers, but you know they're not certified as well, so they were there to help. But
And I would assume that would make a difference within the court system.
As far as yes, so if, such as a translator at the grand jury or in court, they're gonna have to be certified to the state 7th judicial. This, as the chief said, was more to just facilitate conversation, because we had quite a few people that day that were not English speakers. So, yeah, I think I see this as a big plus. But again, that's from my presentation of it. I think just the translating the transcribe thing alone is
Going back to
huge.
the independent certification, did they project how long it would take before they would be certified?
no, we'd have to send them. Is there a process back for John for certification?
Just like every
Yeah.
other
Right.
Yeah.
interpreter, there's a process with the judicial system to get certified in order to do transcripts in the first place. So I imagine it would be something similar to that, and it's going to be a time thing. As with all new technology, the more you see it, the more it works. So, and basically, it gets challenged in court, and then somebody needs to go to court to Axon would have to go present, their technology and explain why it should be trusted, and then every day there's a track record being made, every day. So, when will that happen? You can't really put a pinpoint on that, but it will come. It will.
Yeah,
And every new technology has the same hurdles.
It goes to what Supervisor Schmidt was saying about would it be challenged in court. Of course, it's going to be challenged in court, but there are processes for that. There's evidentiary hearings to show that it's foundationally sound. But frankly, a lot of this technology is nothing new. I mean, you can speak into your smartphone now and have it translate into another language for you. It's the same idea. It's just happening in real time through the Axon, and then later through the program that's back at the station in order to create the transcript. So it's really nothing new. I don't see this as being too much of a hurdle. Like Mr. Morrell said, it will be challenged. We will have to support it in the court that it is valid technology, but I don't see that being an issue.
Okay, thank you.
As it sits right now, I sat down with Cheryl, did the figures. If we were to sign on right now, my budget would still be under from this year by 0.03. So not much, but even add this, I'd still be under budget without anything else coming up for next year. So, just keep in mind, I don't know when you want to discuss it or what you want to do. This offer only stands until the end of June. If we don't do anything by the end of June, it's done. So, what's that? Do you have a question? No? So,
Thanks, Tim.
all right, thanks.
Okay, we have no more petitioners. Would anybody like to speak as privilege of the floor? Yes, Miles. State your name, please.
Good evening. I'm Kay Ireland, sexton of the cemeteries. I want to talk about the bridge. The bridge in Crestdale Cemetery is in horrible shape. It needs to come down. I had Clark Rigging from Syracuse come yesterday. They looked at it. And there's no room for their equipment to get in there to take it down. They would have to bring in a crane, and there just is not room. So while we were talking, he said to me, have you looked at Sessler? And I said, not really. Well, I did. And they came and looked at it. They are willing to take it down, no cost to us. They're gonna come in, take it down, take it away, and it will be done. If we were to pay for it, it would be $1,000 to $2,000. They have manpower available this week. The guys aren't busy. They said they would just have them come and get it done this week. But I need approval of the board to take it down. It's falling apart. Some of the pillars coming down are all rusted at the bottom. And when they looked at both Clark and Sessler looked at it, they said this thing is ready to fall in. Well, no one should be down in there, but you can't keep them out, so we need to take it down.
And they would haul out the bridge when it gets taken down, right?
Pardon?
They would haul out the material.
Oh, yes, they're gonna take the whole thing. Yep, they'll take it down and they'll cut it up and they'll take it away. I'm sorry?
I said that's probably why they're doing it, for the money for the materials, so they'll pay for the cost.
And we talked about that a little bit, and I said, you're not charging us anything to take it down. You take it out of there, and it's up to them. And does the board approve of that or not?
That bridge is terrible.
Did they send you an email or anything to say this is what they would do?
No, but I can have them do that. We talked on the phone today.
Okay.
Right. And I know that, with Clark Rigging, when they said that they would take away, the metal, he said there wouldn't be that much because it's so rusted and there's so much of it that's gone. I mean, just go down to the cemetery and walk down the main road and take a look in the right side. It needs to come down. It needs to be taken care of. I asked Mike Carson to bring me proof of insurance tomorrow before they start.
I'm not real concerned with Sessler's insurance coverage. I'm more concerned with the town getting into a situation where we just have, you're in the middle, if they're making a proposal to the town, it would be nice to have a proposal to accept and act on. So if this is something that the board is interested in doing, it does seem like it could be very beneficial to the town if the board members are familiar with the situation and think it needs immediate attention. You're not spending any money, so to speak. You have potential for materials, but you also have convenience that is the cost of anything you want to do. So you got to weigh it out. If the board thinks that this is something that you want to do, you could go ahead and accept this proposal as it's being presented. And subject to, if you want to put any conditions on it as far as reviewing insurance coverage, things like that, you can do that. But again, I don't know if this is something the board's in favor or not.
All right, so can I have a motion to have the bridge taken down by Sessler?
Do we need anything in writing? Like,
Well, we don't have anything in writing. What you'd be doing is, the resolution would be allowing the Senate's, are they a corporation? Are they, LLC? Yeah. Allowing Sessler Corporation to have access to the cemetery, allow them to take down the bridge and remove it.
I mean, worst case scenario, you could have, they make the steel. Worst case scenario, we can haul the steel out. And then once it's on the ground.
Well,
Any more
Bridge is
discussion?
terrible. It's
Actually,
terrible.
I went and looked at it, it's definitely gotta come down, but if we can do this, I'm okay with doing it,
Yeah,
I just wanna make sure
especially
we're
if
doing
it's free.
stuff properly, so we don't get jammed up down there.
If
So
you-
all in
well,
favor of,
I just asked that we get the proposal from Sessler in writing that,
can you have that email to my office
Yes,
tomorrow?
yes,
And then
I will.
And is this Mike Karsten that you're dealing with?
Yes,
Okay,
and Jeff,
okay.
that's what.
I will send you a copy of it.
Just send it to me, I'll get it to the
So
board.
how do you want it, what would you like to read like?
The board is considering it right now, and I think ultimately we're gonna be in touch with, probably Mr. Karstens and other representatives of Sessler to formalize this, between the town and them.
All right, so if they write a letter tomorrow morning or tonight when I call, and they can email it to your email, is that doable? Is that all we need?
We gotta vote yet, we haven't
Oh, I'm
voted.
sorry, I
Okay,
interrupted you.
so all in favor of letting Cecil do it, if they give us a proposal that it doesn't cost nothing, and they're gonna remove it and clean it up, all in favor? Anybody opposed? No, so carried, 5-0. Yes, please have them send me an email today or tomorrow. I'll get that, if we have any questions, I'll ask Pat, I'll send one to Melissa and we'll have them do it.
You wanted to read that they're taking it down, they're taking it away, no cost to us. Is that it?
Removal and cleanup.
Pardon?
Removal and cleanup.
Yes.
Yes.
I did a report, gave the report to our supervisor on the board of 15 years of what has happened in the cemeteries. While I'm standing here, do any of the board members have any questions on what we've done in the last 15 years in all the cemeteries? Did you get the report? I didn't see the report. Did you?
I would have forwarded, I've been forwarding them all my emails, so
I'm sorry.
I don't remember, when did you send it?
I physically handed you the copies.
That I didn't forward it, but she gave it to my guys.
Is it something you want me to do? I have a copy of it at home.
You can email it to everybody if they want to look at it. Yeah, that'd be good.
Oh, it's pages and pages.
we do have an updated email system as well.
Pardon?
We have an updated email system, so just be sure that rather than the .com, it's .gov when you're sending emails to the board members. Otherwise, we won't.
Bring it in.
Okay, I'll just bring my copy in. Okay.
I got you.
Any other questions on this?
I think we're all set. Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you. Okay?
Anyone else for privilege of the floor? That's right.
Good evening. My name's Brad Jones, resident. I'm here tonight to thank a number of people, but also to touch on some issues over the past few months. I wish I was here for the same purpose as Charlie and Adrian and Diana, talking about all the good things that are going on in our community. It's, keep doing what you're doing. This community's behind you. The thank you starts out with this group right here. And it ties to an issue that I want to bring up shortly. Chief, Jeremy, Deborah, Peter, Missy, Melissa. They work a lot of hours. Matter of fact, today, probably 8 this morning to 8 tonight. So by thanking you, I also give you a task. You probably all work an average of 45, 50 hours a week. Some may do more, some may do less. Just divide your salary by the number of hours that you work a week. And I want you to compare it to an issue that I brought up 2 months ago. And I brought it up to our supervisor, Frank Schmitter, and it's on the town manager position. Mike Ferrara, previous supervisor, created the position, and he created it to be full-time. He created it for a position to run the daily operations of the town.
So back in April, I come and I question Frank saying, why isn't the town manager here? He's running the day-to-day operations. Well, he doesn't need to be here. Didn't hear anything back from Frank. Now I'm hearing from your employees, and I'm hearing from your department heads. There's a problem here, and hopefully, I don't want to go as far as to say the town board is broken, but you have to straighten out the issues at hand. You have a part-time town manager that's not here tonight. You have a part-time town manager making between $75,000 and $80,000. Correct me if I'm wrong, 25 to 30 hours a week. Divide that and compare it to your hourly wage. Raise your hand if you're even near it. My recommendation is, if you go into executive session, abolish the position. I, along with people here, will volunteer to help you lead projects like Charlotte, Adrian, and Diana. But to pay somebody who, I just found out from one of your employees, part-time bus driver. I have nothing against that, but I was told he spends more time at that job than he does at the town manager's position. So Frank, you own it. And I think you need to address your town employees as well as your department heads, as well as residents like myself. Also, 2 months ago, I brought up the residency issue. Nothing back from you, nothing back from our attorney for the town, Pat Morrell. You asked me numerous times, we discussed it numerous times. Brad, somebody from the public has to bring it up. I didn't want to bring it up. I have nothing against Kate. As a matter of fact, she's probably one of the strongest board members here. But if you don't live in the town, and if you don't own property in the town, and you don't pay taxes, you're not qualified under New York State law to be a town council person. You asked me to bring it up, I did. Once again, where's the leadership? I expect an answer for Pat Morrell on that too.
You got one. I emailed, I returned your email.
I know,
Yeah.
and I brought it up.
That's not bringing it up. The
Return.
board is not authorized to take any action.
Oh,
on
okay,
that.
all right, okay, I see.
That's my,
So
that
breaking
was my
the law,
response to you.
okay, neglected. Frank, your words of wisdom?
Exactly what my attorney just told you.
Okay, all right. So the two of you own it. If it goes to court, there's a chance that every vote in your administration for the last year and a half can become null and void. Am I correct there?
No.
Oh, I'm not. Okay, all right, I stand corrected.
And that's why I sent the law to you.
Yeah, and I sent you the law too, section 23 and section 36. I'm not here to get into a concern. It's not practical, it's not acceptable. You've got town department heads, you've got town employees saying, Brad, will you bring it up? I'm saying the system is broken right now. You, as town attorney, you, as town supervisor, you own it.
Don't
Third
say I
issue.
didn't respond to you.
Third.
And I in fact did respond to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're saying I have to own property
You
in
ha-
this town? So
Whether
what about
it's you-
Jackson, when he was
Yeah.
renting and he was running?
I'm not
And he
here,
was on
I'm
the
here
board.
for.
No,
prin-
you are, you bring me up, you
Okay.
come here every time, and you wanna use me as an example.
No, no.
Okay, yes,
I'm-
you do.
Okay, Jackson.
I have residency in this town, I have an active lease, so if you do wanna go down there, I challenge you to, Brad,
All
we
right.
can go there.
The challenge is to Frank Schmitter and the attorney for the town. Let's move on.
You're challenging Caitlin now, is what you're doing.
Hold on. Third issue. Last month, a resolution came to the floor that wasn't part of the agenda. And I raised my hand. It's kind of like bending the rules, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dad, on this one too.
All right,
It is,
it's part of the
you,
open meetings law.
pardon?
It's part of the open meetings law. And
Okay.
ideally, resolutions will be prepared before the meeting.
Okay.
That's not always the
this resolution was written from somebody outside this town board, and putting a person's name that's not even a town employee, correct me if I'm wrong, committee members, aren't they town employees? Not town employees, town residents? Check that one out.
No.
Yeah, it didn't sound so.
Senator Roby wrote it, first of all. He didn't write the resolution. I presented it. And as far as having Kyle Black sit on that committee, the intention was for continuity within that committee to work with the Seneca Meadows
I have
landfill
nothing
for the
against Kyle
purposes of
being on the
organics.
committee.
You take issue with Kyle because it's the landfill. I received the
I
emails as well.
take
which were highly
issue
inappropriate
with
as
Kyle because he's not a resident of Seneca
Right,
Falls.
they don't have to be residents to be a part of that
Yes, they
committee.
do. Our code says
Because
they have to be a resident
those
of Seneca
bylaws,
Falls. Your own
Our
town
resolution
code.
trumps those bylaws. So, and those bylaws were inappropriately created. And
Okay.
I don't agree with that. I believe that we should include Seneca Meadows with the organics. Part of the issue, and you always talk about it, is the smell. Why are we working with the landfill on the
Frank,
smell and
can I move
removing the
on?
organics?
The last issue? The last issue is tonight. That was bending the rules a little. Tonight, as you look at your agenda, it was brought to my attention by a department head as well as an employee. And I don't want to be the messenger, but we've got to fix the problem. Everything out here is going right. Here, the resolution you have to go outside, or is it digging ditches, drainages? Correct me if I'm wrong.
People
Hold on.
comment all the time. Well, ask me a question, then,
I'm gonna ask you a question,
now
Frank.
you can answer.
Yeah, I'm asking you the question, why don't you go through the clerk's office and advertise it? When you go for outside services, at least when I was mayor, when Diana was mayor, when Mike was supervisor, there's a process, there's a policy. But however, you and Frank decided to go elsewhere instead of going through Jeremy and the town clerk, because politics, back in my day, the street department took care of these things. Now we got a Department of Public Works, and now we've got a third group, we've got to outsource it. Why don't you address the politics? First of all, you owe it to Melissa as town board, as a town clerk, to be able to be part of the bidding process. She's the one that opens up the sealed bids. You're bending the rule, and this one smells. Thank you very much.
Anyone else for privilege of the floor? Okay, at this time I close the privilege of the floor. The public will not speak anymore, strictly board members will talk. The supervisor's comment. First, I want to talk about New York State is rolling out a new policy requiring all official government websites, including those operated by municipalities, to adopt a .gov domain. This initiative is designed to boost the security, credibility, and functionality of government websites. By standardizing web addresses, the state aims to make it easier for the public to recognize authentic government sites and access trustworthy information. As part of this transition, the town of Seneca Falls began updating its website on June 2nd, 2025. This process is expected to be completed soon. The town's new web address will be senecafalls.gov. For a limited period, visitors will go to the old senecafalls.com site, will automatically be redirected to the new .gov address. Charlie Kemp did talk a little bit about this, but this is a new newsletter that was created by the SFDC. We were working on it, and Jackson and Jessica Lorenzetti did a lot of work on it for the SFDC. The plan of it is to do one a month. This is the first one. It'll be put out in the restaurants in town, hung up around. It's going to list the stuff that's going on in the town monthly. So if you see one, and like when you go to Parker's, you might find one on the table. You look at it, you leave it for the next person. Sort of like the old town crier, but just to let people know what's going on in Seneca Falls monthly.
If I can add to that really quick, we're also trying to work on getting an actual calendar as well. That'll be on senecafalls.info or something like that. But we're going to have that so as a newsletter, and then you can always log on to the website as well and get an actual hey, today this, that, and that are happening. So that'll be coming as well.
I also want to comment, the library has got a new program, Tech Talk. It offers a wide array of resources designed to boost digital literacy and empower our community. So for that, you just can go on the library's website and techtalk.com and get more information on that. Big thing coming July 4th. Really, this is going to be really great for the town. You guys, the symphony's coming now, but we weren't able to get fireworks, so we're actually going to get a drone show, laser drone show. It'll be something you're not going to see anywhere else, and probably none in our lives. It'll be like 100 drones that'll put a show up in the air. So I would invite your families, your friends, and people from out of state to come see it. It's going to be really great.
When is this?
On July 4th itself.
Where's it gonna be?
Right down, Judy Wenzel and the Bonifigli Foundation are going to let us use their property. I think the drones will be off a boat in the canal. I'm not 100% sure how it's going to happen. So
We can't do fireworks this year?
we couldn't book anybody on July 4th. They're all booked. So instead of that, we're getting a laser drone show. The symphony's doing it. It's not costing the town anything. But, so it's really, really a great opportunity to see something new and developing. Okay, so last week I put out an email to all my department heads that haul stuff around and about load securement, because it's an issue. People in the public complain, people on the board, and it's got to be done just because that's the right thing to do to protect our citizens. So our highway superintendent, Jeremy Witt, has ended the dumpster program because of that. I feel it's not fair to the public, and on Monday I'm going to turn it over to the Public Works and get the dumpster system back up and running. I'm not going to allow it not to have the dumpsters. So they're going to be strapped. You get to throw a piece of plywood over, a tarp or something covered. It has to be secure.
Did you not come to my shop and argue with me about how the dumpsters are built? How's a piece of plywood going to stay on there?
We'll strap them down. It can be done.
Okay.
It can be done. I'm not, Jeremy, we're taking it over, Mike, okay? You're not, I'm not going to tell the people they can't do it. So. Took it away from the rec center,
I think
big department,
you guys originally used to have your own trash. It's not hard to call Costello and have bring it.
Jeremy, we have dumpsters, we will take care of it, okay? You don't have to do it. All right, at this time, I would like to address all the negativity posted on social media about the town. These posts are from town employees and elected town officials. I believe these posts are created by these people because they are being held accountable for their actions and the refusal to do the job they were hired for or elected for. I can explain all the issues we have with these departments, or the lack of work being done at these departments, and the waste of your taxpayers' hard-earned money. But I would much rather tell you about all the positive things happening in Seneca Falls. This board in the last year and a half has accomplished many great things. The Rec Center DRI completed, Canal Side DRI project started to be completed this fall. The Seneca Museum DRI started and to be completed this fall. Miller Street drainage completed, Johnson Street drainage project completed. Forming the committees to keep the comprehensive plan moving forward. This is another very positive thing, is numerous residents have volunteered their time and believe in Seneca Falls. They give their valuable time to serve. We've been working on getting the Wonderful Life Bridge painted. Numerous projects were completed and started to upgrade the water and sewer projects. The downtown revitalization projects that are continually ongoing, the opening of new businesses, expansions of businesses downtown, dedication of the Bonifigli Foundation to help improve the downtown district, a town newsletter that started this month under the umbrella of the SFDC, the creation of Summer Thursday Music in the Park started by the director of the museum. We kept cycle of the area in Seneca Falls after they lost the ability to stay at Miners Academy, getting the Albany Symphony to commit to doing a July 4th show in Seneca Falls. All the sporting programs and summer programs offered by the Rec Center are constantly getting bigger and better. The starting of moving the Bear Street Culvert project forward. There are many other positive things happening in Seneca Falls. If anyone ever wants to discuss anything or wants to join the committee and give back, please call or stop by my office. Please help promote Seneca Falls instead of tearing it apart. Please understand, I know everything is not perfect, but I would much rather you reach out to me personally instead of slamming the town on social media. That's the end of my Do I have comments for today? Yes, and I have a motion to accept communications A through D.
I make a motion.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion?
Department reports?
How about the department? I have a question on one.
Okay. We have a motion to accept the department reports.
Make a motion.
Second.
Second.
Okay, I have just a question for
Discussion.
Deb, because I read the report, and,
Which report?
That's
from
report.
the, it just says, there were grievances on May 27th. There were 3 residential, 3 solar, and 20 industrial. And I was just wondering, 20 industrial, they had filed 20 grievances, Bill?
Car wash, 3 residents, and this 3 solar.
Oh, okay. All right, so, okay, I didn't understand it. I thought there was like, Gould would be 1, and there were 19 others.
We have
Just, okay, all right.
22 cars.
Okay, all right, thank you. That's good. Not good for you, but it's good, clears it up.
Do I have a motion to accept the department reports?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I have a motion to accept communications A through D.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Discussion?
Yeah, I have a question, and I know Barton Judas is not here, but, you know, one thing I've been keeping an eye on is that the generator, a while ago, the EPA, I believe, wrote the town a letter saying the violations we had at the sewer plant. Okay, that was more than a year ago, so, you know, we still don't have the generator, and we bid the thing, we bought the generator, and it's still not,
Okay, I did talk to.
still no generator.
I talked to Lisa, and it's being built, and we should have it by, probably September or something. I did talk, ask her about why it's taking so long. And it's just the way it is with everything anymore.
I'd like to see that project completed before I defer.
Good chance. Anything else on communications? All in favor of accepting communications?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Special events. The first one is Floats River Circus. It's a 1-hour family-friendly performance with live music, property, and circus arts. Performance takes place on a 30-foot, 3-foot pontoon boat. The audience watches from shore. The show is free to attend. It's going to be on August 14th from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. So mark your calendar if you like circus. May I have a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Another special event, Cycle the Erie Canal. It's an 8-day bicycle tour along the Erie Canal from Buffalo to Albany, overnight at the Elks Lodge on Tuesday, July 15, 2025.
With a motion, we
Second.
accommodate the cyclists.
They are encouraging everybody to attend on this, so.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
We'll also be sending alerts on that one, because the traffic down by, the Alps is gonna be pretty heavy. Bikes coming down
Yeah.
corners and kids territory with the hills, so we're gonna set the radar signs up there, but we'll also send out a bunch of alerts to let people know that there's, a lot of bikes in that area to try to slow traffic down as much as you can.
Thanks. Okay, another special event permitted, the Girl Scouts of New York Penn Pathways, annual meeting of the Girl Scouts, gather together girls, volunteers, and delegates to conduct the business of the council. It's going to be May 1st to the 3rd, 2026. Wow, we're getting ready. 200 to 300. Do I have
I'll
a
make a
motion?
motion.
You have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Some of them are, man, these people are trying to get it in the last minute.
There's another one, Scouting America.
And another Scouting America for June 5th.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Have a motion for the other Scouting one for June 5th, 2025 from 6 to 7:30.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried.
Right. Good job on that.
They got the date wrong. June 10th.
June 10th.
June 10th.
Alright.
Will that change any of the approvals? No?
It's not a heavy lift for us, we'll just have to notify Fairways Railway that, we'll be approving the parking that day instead of the DDAs.
So, Kevin, with the amended June 10th, can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried.
Thank you.
We have no old business, new business, a resolution to let the hiring freeze due to vacancies. A motion,
Make a motion.
second,
Second.
discussion.
I think that it is worthwhile to know what you're specifically wanting, what departments to fill, which isn't mentioned in
It
here.
could be any department.
But I
This
don't
is
think,
the-
but you're targeting specifically the DPW, is that my
I'm
understanding?
not targeting anything, I'm listing the
Yes, you
vacancies so
are.
we can hire people.
Who else do you want, what other departments do you want to hire for?
Right? No
Because
one-
this is all.
No one else needs
this is
anybody right now.
The reason we're doing this
We could sure use
is
help.
pending the negotiations, correct, with the union, that's why.
That was the original thing, and we met with the union, and the union said they do not recommend that we have hiring freeze. They, in fact, encourage us to hire people.
I spoke with Stephanie. Now, with that said, because I mean, and we'll get into this with the proposal for the new hire, I'm still not in support of this until we are through the negotiations with the unions. So,
Okay, well, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
opposed?
Carried 3-2. The resolution to declare convention days of Town Center Falls event. Have a motion,
Second?
discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. The resolution supporting grant application for intermunicipal water quality demo network. Have a motion,
I'll make a motion.
second.
Second.
Discussion. I'll give you a little background on this. The two gentlemen came to my office, they company with Hobart, they do all the work for us. The 25% match, they said that would be the labor they do, so it should never cost us a dime if they give us anything else. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Town of Sonic Falls application to Greater Tompkins County Municipal Health Insurance Consortium for Employees' Health Insurance.
I'll make a motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Now, just for my understanding here, who's the Human Resources Committee on the board?
I didn't hear you.
It says that the Human Resources Committee of the board will select the plans to be offered to employees and retarees when they are provided to
That'd
the
be
town.
Frank and I. And Peter.
We actually
the town
have to
manager.
sit down with the two bargaining units. There's two bargaining units in Seneca Falls.
I realize that.
The
So,
CSCA.
my concern is that, because I had prior discussions, it was the bronze plan, which I came from the county, I'm familiar with the consortium, I'm familiar with their health insurance. The bronze plan isn't great, and I'm concerned that we're not looking out for the betterment of the employees as far as health insurance.
It's a better policy.
We've talked, I can't tell you what we talked about in the negotiations, but we have talked about it and said that the insurance would be not better or not worse. It would be the same that they have right now. the
How do the
coverage.
employees feel about the health insurance now?
Hmm?
How do the employees feel about their health insurance coverage now?
All I know is the CSCA is interested in going with the Tompkins County plan. They believe it's a good plan. So do I. We had it in the county
Well, there's,
when I was
you're right, but they offer the platinum, and then what is, aside from the platinum, what's the other?
Gold, bronze.
Gold, and then there's bronze. But I don't recall the platinum and the gold being offered, it was just the bronze.
I mean, there's a lot involved that we probably should discuss in executive session. Can't, we're in negotiations with it. It's hard to tell you all the things like we are putting the employees at priority. And the few we talked about, we'd much rather have this forward going than we are now.
The few or the mass?
Didn't talk to them yet, so we don't have a
But I
policy.
think that there should be these are their benefits. I just would, obviously,
And
they
that's
should
why we
be
talked
taken
to
into
the union
consideration.
about it. The union represents the people.
The union represents a small portion of people.
What does the union say?
I mean, don't
They're not
vote in
here.
favor of just one option, and that's what we were presented with, was one option.
The bronze?
Correct.
That doesn't sit well with me. And especially when there's you two on it, because there's not very good communication.
You also need to take.
You okay, you wanna sit in on the next meeting, you can. I will sit out, you can sit there and listen to it. That's fine, I mean,
You also need to take into consideration that the cost of insurance to themselves is gonna go up anywhere between 18% to 14%. So we need to take that into consideration. So the consortium itself, which is what you're just voting on doing, the consortium, not the plans or anything. But the consortium itself is gonna save the town.
My issue is the one plan.
But that's not.
That's my issue.
they're not locked into one plan right now. We're just saying one consortium, that's all this says. It doesn't say anything about gold, bronze, nothing.
So
But-
the other plan
So
will
we
be
could
presented
offer
with the
more.
union.
Okay, once we're discussing with the union, yes. The plan.
And,
We can tell you more in executive session. It's just-
okay, so just take note that that was said, please. Okay.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Got a resolution for the determination of secure not applicable towards the Wonderful Life Bridge payment. Got a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Discussion? Basically, it just says that the bridge does not fall under needing to have a seeker done on it and get paid.
Because you're just painting the bridge, you're just doing maintenance work on the bridge, you're not changing it in any way. So for the state environmental quality review, it allows this project to be designated as a type 2 action. And once that designation is made, then that concludes the environmental review. So that's what that resolution is saying.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I got a resolution for per diem reimbursement for Detective Christopher Denny for attending child safety training conference.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Got a resolution for evidence property room software and supporting equipment. The budget item from the PD, cost of $4,724. Got a motion?
I'll make the motion.
A second.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution there, approve the hiring of a motor equipment operator for the town of Seneca Falls for the Department of Public Works. I mean, over the rate of $26.23 an hour. Have a motion?
I make a motion.
Second.
Second.
Where does it say $26 an hour?
Good.
The resolution.
They forgot to put it on there and I wrote it down there, just to tell
What
you.
is it?
$26.23.
And what, if I'm looking at the matrix, where does that come in? Is that starting? That's not
Yes,
starting.
that is starting.
No, that's starting, that's not
We had
starting.
switched it with the union to new matrix.
The union hasn't
Hasn't agreed
passed.
to anything.
We don't have a,
That's our new proposal is now is grade 9.
was a background completed?
Through the county did their thing, yes.
No, I'm talking about through our
Like
policy.
they have to do with all my employees that I hired.
Any new,
I don't know if it was done or not.
Chief Snyder,
Yes.
was there a background completed on this individual?
What's the individual, I don't know if you have.
Albert Kemp.
Not for my office.
So that actually goes against the section
So we should
402
table
in our
this
employee handbook.
until he gets a head budget.
I'll make an amendment to the motion that we hire the guy pending passing of the background check of the Seneca Falls PD.
Is this off a current list that we have?
We applied at the county, yes.
So is it an old list? Because we haven't advertised for this
The
position.
county advertises nonstop for this stuff. They gave me about 10 applications, the county. And
I
gave
didn't
them to-
see anything for Seneca Falls specific. I see for the highway department, for the county.
They applied at the through the county like they're supposed to. And I think we put this through quite a while ago, we put it out to hire someone
No, we didn't.
a couple of months ago.
When would that have taken place?
Now, you can put something in there, you gotta pass the drug test too before you hire them. Well, I gotta test it.
So if we're going at, what grade is this? Grade,
Grade 9,
a grade 9?
No, this
Or is that the new proposal? I thought it was a grade 7.
grade 9 under the new negotiations we're working on.
But
We have nothing that's been approved for new negotiations, so it's still a grade 7, correct? I just want
We made
clarification.
it a grade 9.
Well, how can we make a grade 9 when we're not even through proposal, you know?
We
the-
sat down with the union and I'm explaining
We don't
all
have
We
the
would have to
contract in
vote for
place.
changes to that, and that hasn't happened, right? That's my point. So it still would be a grade 7, and a grade 7 comes in at what?
All right, well, we got the motion on the floor.
So just.
I'm still talking though, wasn't already discussion?
They'll just move up to grade 9.
Yeah, and then get it back.
That's all.
So if I'm looking at the current matrix, and I want this on the record, and this is still discussion.
Under those conditions.
So a grade 7 at starting is $23.45 an hour.
Okay, so make the motion $23.45 an hour. Go ahead. I'm gonna vote to hire the guy to make it $2 an hour. So you can make it to 23.
I'm not still gonna support it because I already voted against the hiring freeze in general, but I don't believe that it's good practice to make arbitrary decisions that haven't been approved by the board. We haven't changed the matrix. And the fact that we have to go on record and you're still trying to cut me off at discussion is really inappropriate.
I amend the motion that we hire a person in grade 7, so we can get a person.
Are we gonna do the drug test, and you're gonna do the background check? You
Okay,
can
so
go.
we amended the motion to hire him at a grade 7.
When did we
Jackson
do that?
seconded.
You just did.
I just did.
I'm second.
So are we adding the drug screening in there as well?
Roger.
Sure.
Yes, we are,
Sure.
because everyone else has to do it.
And the background.
Yeah. That's fine. I don't have any problem with that.
And I think moving forward, we need to reiterate once again, because it is our town practice, and we have been on record to say this before, that all new employees need to have their background through the chief. Jeremy's been doing it.
Has anybody else done it?
We need to ensure that all departments are complying with our policies. We have them in place for a reason.
All in favor of the motion as amended?
Hold on, you have to vote on the amendment first. So if I got it right, the amendment would be to alter the starting rate pay, requiring a background check through the Seneca Falls Police Department,
Yes.
and then
The
what?
drug screening.
With drug screening, is that a Department of Motor Vehicles, commercial driver's license type drug screening? Is that
You
what
can
we're
do it
talking
both
about?
ways. You can do it through the DOT, if he has a CDL, you can do it through the DOT, or you can, as a pre-hire, we pay for it, we send them to Waterloo and have it done themselves. And then he gets registered onto the driver's books with the DOT, and then they do randoms.
Is this person being hired, is the CDL a condition of the employment?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd be under the state guidelines for
So
drug
you
testing.
can do it either way.
The application was approved by the personnel department as an MEO, so they've gotta have a CDL. They can't hold that title without a CDL.
So decide what the amendment is, what the amendment is going to require, and then vote on it before voting on the full
we have a motion with an amended resolution that he hires a grade 7 at $23.45, pending he passes background check by the chief of Seneca Falls PD, and he required to file all state drug testing for his CDL.
So that's the amendment. That
Yes.
should be unvoted on before voting on the full resolution.
I have a motion to
I make a motion.
Second.
discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed?
I'm gonna vote aye.
Now you gotta vote on the full resolution. That was just the amendment.
I make a motion, we, hire the MEO.
Second.
As amended.
As amended.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Next, I have a resolution to approve the contract with Mechanic Incorporated for drainage and ditch clearing operations on an as-needed basis. You should have had an amended one on your desk today. For this.
I'll make a motion.
No, privilege floor is closed.
Second.
No, privilege floor is closed. Second, okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
So,
There's discussion.
I mean, you got
Jackson,
three,
vote.
you got 3 bids, and it was under the 20,000, so,
I had 5 bids, but yes.
so we should be good.
through the town clerk or not?
So to that, okay, which conveniently now it's under $20,000, which equals 5 weeks of pay at $95 an hour. Whereas, I guess my question is with, how is this applicable with this, how we solicit these bids? Was there any advertising? And the other point that I would like to point out is that section 2.02 under general municipal law that states that all purchases of all goods and supply equipment and services shall not be artificially divided to avoid competitive bidding, which I really think that this really took place, especially since we have 2 individuals that are qualified under their job titles to operate heavy equipment. And that includes Sean Van G and Tim Pagano. My question is, and probably arguably even Aaron Pasalacqua, but my question is, why are we bypassing the solicitations and even the OSC recognizes that it's best practice to advertise, because then it goes into the RFP proposals, then it goes into competitive bidding, which we kind of skirted around that by 1 week, and it says it's as needed basis. So at whose discretion is that?
Public Works?
Public Works. Well, we just hired somebody. And the other part to that is, what's wrong with Sean Van G and Tim Pagano? Why are we going to be paying them
Tim
$10,000?
Pagano works for the water department, so it's not his job to do ditches. And I've tried
Well,
with the
so
highway to dig them for a
that's-
year and a
that's-
half, and they haven't done one.
that's-
We have done ditches.
That's
You're wrong.
convenient for Tim Pagano because I still believe that Joe Tulo's department has been assisting the
We would
DPW.
still be digging ditches.
Quite
We might still have
regularly.
6 more employees.
But I do believe that it's important to note that I know that you have tried, and it's even been successful because DPW and water and sewer work hand in hand. Quite often. I can't.
That's a good thing.
It is a good thing, so why can't we have Tim Pagano operate the machine if he's qualified? And avoid having to spend $19,000.
Works for the water department.
But they work
But
together anyhow.
we're short 2 people still, so we're not hiring someone where we're paying health insurance and having to employ them for the whole year. We need them for the short time in the summer to dig ditches, and that's why we're doing it this way.
Well, we
It's
already-
cheaper for the town to do it this way than to hire someone that you
Yeah,
have.
are we in violation of the general municipal law, section 2.002?
Public bidding is required when you're spending more than $35,000.
Correct, I
for
understand that
services,
part.
Right.
But it's,
So if what has happened here, we have solicitation for proposals, apparently there were 5 received, and this is the low one.
we only have received 3, there were 5.
The other
Right,
two,
how many?
the other, talked to 5 different people and 2 of them
Well, how did
decided.
we
Where's
solicit,
the town
how did we
clerk coming
solicit these people?
Why do I have to get bids for $30,000 for trees then if it's over $35,000? Why do I gotta do bids for tree work?
So section 2.02, Pat, is, if I go back to what I had said, was about artificially dividing services, which I feel that this artificially divided services,
As long as this contract doesn't
See you in person.
generate more than $35,000.
that's only applicable to the 35,000?
Yeah, that's what that section's about. Everything under that.
What about
is
section
under our
3.06
procurement
about
policy,
discretionary
which
purchases in the RFP less than 35K, greater than 10K shall require written RFP? Is that not applicable either?
He has written, he solicited bids, he received.
But I didn't see an
He sent around
RFP.
3 written bids, that's
How did we
what's
solicit
required
the
under
bids?
our, that's what's required under our procurement policy.
How did we solicit the bids?
It's not specified, but you can you can contact contractors directly, contact suppliers directly. Typically, when we have, somebody contacting a vendor, they contact 3, they present their proposals that they've received, and the board goes with the one that they think is the best deal for the town.
But
So
the
this
OSC
is different
recognizes
from
best
prior
practice.
village, prior town governments. That function goes through your town clerk, I have to say it more than once.
No, this typically comes from the department heads. Typically, the department heads see the proposals because they know what it is that they need.
Okay.
I don't
Melissa,
think
correct
that
me
we
if
were
I'm wrong.
very
Don't you always
competitive
advertise
and
on the
transparent.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Fred.
Yeah, please stop talking.
I don't think that we were very transparent in the bidding process to allow other contractors, because it was who reached out to these contractors directly.
I don't know if
I reached out to the contractors.
You did?
Yes, I did. I called 5 local contractors trying to support local people. If there's something that needs to be done in this town that I have not been able to get done in a year and a half because we just can't get it done. So I need to get someone that can actually use a machine, dig the ditch, and get the people satisfied in this town with the flooding issues we have. So this is the only way I could figure out how to do it, was to get an independent contractor who can actually operate a machinery and do it. We have no one that can do it in this town.
Yes, you do, you have Sean Van Gee.
And Tim.
And what did you say? We would never use our machine. Quote, I don't want the thing, don't bring it.
I told you that.
Can we utilize employees that we have already without having the taxpayers absorb another expense for the DPW? That's my question.
Yep, we're down 3 employees right now in public works. So this money will come out
So I
before we hire
commonly
them
receive
people.
complaints that Joe and Tim were frequently driving around together. I guess my question
Karen,
is.
you can go on every tangent in the town.
What?
You always attack.
I'm
the
listening
department.
observations, and I'm
Well,
asking,
she's
I think, very
addressing the root
legitimate
cause.
questions. I don't understand the defense.
Well, let me ask this question to the attorney. Has the town done something illegal on this resolution?
We haven't
I
done
mean,
anything yet.
let's say we pass this, are we doing something?
Not that I can see.
Huh?
Not that I can see.
Not that you can see. We're not breaking any
As long as
laws.
you keep the expenditures under this contract, under $35,000.
I just wanna make sure that somebody out in the audience doesn't sue us, that's all.
Any other motion or any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
So carried. Got a motion, a resolution to authorize the award of water valve installer. Have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution to adjust water service tapping fees. Have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Second.
Discussion?
I got a question. I read that. Where is there asbestos underground?
Right from the street you live on. Well, thank you. They had it the other day. Company, we have no one like hand asbestos. So we have to pay someone to do it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Yeah, we can still do that. It's just, we started about a month ago, we had plenty of discussions when Pesh came in, so.
Hash came in again?
No, maybe it was two, whenever they came in Pesh, we got to call about this one. That is something we probably worth looking into. I think it's very expensive to train someone. Might be worth it. No, somebody's gonna stay with us. Have a resolution for the zoning permit extension renewal application.
Make a motion.
Second.
Second.
Discussion.
What, can you explain those?
So if someone's permit expires or the county asks them to get a renewed extension, they have to go through the whole process with me again. So this is just a simpler way of extending their current permit they have on file.
How long is the permit good for?
A year.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you, Peter.
And then with the new business, I got a resolution for water leaks and pool credits.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
I
Have a motion to pay the bills.
make a motion.
Second.
Discussion.
Do I have your signature on it?
I can. I was the
I
second
signed it,
person,
I don't
so.
know.
I didn't sign it.
They didn't come back to me, so.
Yeah, I was gonna come in earlier today. So, I don't know, later today.
Okay, so make a motion to pay the bills on the third signature of the receipt. I don't know how else to do it. Who else? No, they have two signatures. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I'm opposed. Now I gotta stay here later, because somebody's gotta sign. Hey,
And
something to laugh about?
Put them out somewhere and I'll come in tomorrow morning at 7 in the morning and sign.
Right, they're in the, attorney's room.
They were there all weekend.
make a motion to go to executive session. Discussion related to proposed pending or current litigations, matters related to collective negotiation under town law, medical, financial, creditor, employment issue of particular person, or corporation related to appointment, promotion, disciplinary removal. I'd like to tire town board and Patrick Morrell, our town attorney, and Deb Van Wall, the town assessor, for the first discussion. There should be no motions, no action when we come out, so this concludes our meeting.
Melissa, how many